Hello developers, hello family. In today's episode I will talk about designing software architecture. As always, let's start by reviewing what I did so far. I created new ADR, architecture decision record, and in this architecture decision we are talking about introducing new modeling technique, which is called C4 Architecture Model. You can see it here on the README, added to under the architecture node into the main mind map of keywords. And moreover, what I also added is I changed also the architecture decision log, which is here. So let's do that. Let's see it here. So under the architecture section, there is a new architecture decision record to adopt C4 architecture model, architecture diagramming solution. Here we also have in this architecture break structure, in this decisions break structure, newly added ADR. So let's review the ADR itself. It is placed here. So we are talking here about adopting C4 model for software architecture design. But what is C4 model? Yeah, you can find it here when clicked as one of the first references. And there is the entire site. Actually, this is becoming a community standard to model it this way because it is very simple to explain how it works. And I will not explain that. But what is important that even on the introduction, they clearly explain how to design using this model. And it consists of 4 diagram types, mainly. Yeah, of course, many additional diagrams, but those 4 are the most important. System context diagram, container diagram, component diagram, and code diagram. Yeah, and for code diagrams we will probably use automatically generated sequence diagrams engine from code. So only 3 from levels are interesting for us for now, but mainly the most important are 2 first diagram types. Yep. Okay, so what's also here is a C4 sample used with plant UML. You can review it here. And what I just did, I copied all those diagrams into my solution. Those are under the MIT license, so I did that and I adjusted it for my sample project. Yep. So the C4 model, what it gives us? It gives us, let's say, hierarchical visualization of our designed project. Communication, we focus on system interactions, and we can incrementally develop it along with the design as code approach, yeah, which is a docs as code. We are embedding the design with the code. We are versioning also the design using the plant UML syntax, and it is all done here in the architectural model. Let's click that. Yep. So we are here in the menu and the tree view in the Solution Explorer. Here is the architecture model I copied from the sample. Let's close it a bit. I will show you how it looks like to make it a bit bigger. Yep. And here we have the system context diagram, which is a first level diagram showing to stakeholders mainly how it looks like, yeah, the entire concept, let's say, of the system. Then we have the container diagram. This one is much more technical and requires knowledge what it is all about, how those containers are placed. Here we talk about the database, many different external systems and so on. And more deeply, we can see the component diagram and so on and so on. But those two first are the most important. Of course, we can add a lot more explanation here regarding the design, But for now, we are just beginning the architecturing this project. So we have something like that. It is the first phase of the design. Yeah, of course, it will evolve along with the code, along with the with our deeper understanding of the system, and so on and so on. But how to work with that here? Yep. What we can do, we can find this. Let's try to tweak this system context diagram. Yeah, simply just by finding it here. This is the title. Here we have the entire Plant2ML syntax, and you need to learn it from the page mentioned here. The C4 sample explain it very well, what is the syntax right here. But anyway, we are in the markdown document, and inside we have a Plant2ML embedded inside. Yeah, this is the entire diagram embedded in here, yeah, from top to bottom. And here we, of course, you need to know the syntax. Let's clean it a bit. So we are deleting this because we don't need that comment. But what we want to change the title. For example, not the syntax. It says that the current title is System Context Diagram for Internet Banking System, but we want to make it to tweak that. Let's do for Synergy Banking System. And moreover, here we can add more persons, more, for example, administrator of the system accessing it, any other system. And the syntax looks very similar to what we have in development languages. Yeah. So we have a person like a function which adds this is a name, here is the description, and so on and so on, any metadata. And to know the syntax, first of all, copy, paste, modify, and see what's happening, or go and read the entire documentation. We know the developers don't read the documentation, so the first thing is better for me. And anyway, what we are doing here, let me just show you how I tweak the title, and then I will explain what is. I run the unit test, updating everything in the entire so every document. So we made some mistake. Yeah, as you can see, we broke the Plant2ML. So let's revert that. Let's revert that because probably uncomment. So let's try to without removing this comment. I'm not an expert in Plant2ML, but let's try that. Yep, and let's reload that once again. Yep, and as you can see here, the title of the document of the diagram is changed. Yep. So, but generally, what we are talking about? We are talking about designing software architecture prior and along with the code. Of course, many projects don't do that. Even you can just say, let's not design anything, let's just start coding and complaining. But in my world, this is very good practice to design, to know what we are talking about on many different levels, from top to bottom. And this is the C4. Yep. Thank you for that. That's it. Of course, you need to learn the C4 model and how to implement that using the Plant2ML. But thank you for listening. Link to the source code and to the pull request mentioned that I will create a pull request with all the code that was changed here. So links are down here. Please comment if you would like to say something, or if you like what I did, and please hit like and subscribe. Stay tuned. Thank you.